So my little tiny message for today is to enjoy the smaller moments and those times of ease when things are really working out. Even if it's a small thing in a small way, we should be celebrating those small wins when we get them, because they just allow us to appreciate the bigger blessings, and they also build towards those bigger blessings and they allow them to come in faster. But before I really get into that, I also have an example of my own from the other day. I am Julia. This is Tea Time with Julia. I have my little, what is this guy called? Oh, it just came out of my head. Oh, I forget what, oh, it's gonna bother me now, but I'm Julia. This is me and my little guy, my sticker. I also have one at home. I think I have a couple. And this is Tea Time with Julia, where I like to inspire and guide others based in my experiences in being your most authentic self, because there were so many times where I wasn't my authentic self, and I learned, sort of the hard way sometimes about, just being yourself feels the best. And I think showing gratitude, especially in this, this little message that I had today, really allows other things around you to really blossom into, to see the greater good in anything else as well. So the example that I had, the other day, it was Saturday. I was driving through the city, and obviously it was super busy. It was a Saturday, so there were tons of people around. And I was driving down a one-way street. I was looking for parking. I had already driven a couple blocks, and there was just a line of like parallel parked cars. And there wasn't really any spots open. There was one, but I knew I couldn't fit into it. So I was coming up to a light. It was like yellow. It was going to be red. And the first car at the top of this line was pulling out, and I was the first person driving down the road to see it, to like get into it. And I put my blinker on, pulled right into that spot. So that was really amazing. That was a time where it was just like a really small thing, but it was like, if I think about it, it saved me from searching around the city more and more for parking, and to be driving around more when I already had to pee so bad, which was a blessing. That was really amazing. And, like I said, it just made me think about the times where we can find really tiny blessings, and to be grateful for smaller things is when we can really attract those bigger blessings and those bigger things that we want in our lives. Because being grateful for those small things gives us greater appreciation when those big things come in that we have worked so hard for. And I also believe that the smaller blessings that we find in our day-to-day, like I said, finding the first parking spot, even if you're going to the grocery store and you're like, as soon as you're pulling in, somebody else is pulling out, and it's like the first parking spot there, that is something to be grateful for. Or like you get the very last one of like your favorite chips again in the store. Like whatever it is, be grateful for those smaller blessings, because it allows be grateful for those smaller blessings, because it allows the bigger blessings to come in even faster. I feel like the more we show gratitude, the more the universe is like, okay, like we're going to bring in those bigger things, and we're going to keep like bringing you bigger and bigger, like things that you can be appreciative for, because you are already showing your appreciation. And sometimes those grand blessings require us to have like a perspective shift. And, sometimes if you feel like there's just nothing around you to be grateful for, like it's one of those days where you just feel down and you just feel like nothing is working out, it sometimes requires you to have like a slight perspective shift, even if it is like somebody holding the door open for you, that is going to shift your perspective and to like really see greater things around you. Sometimes those bigger blessings require us to have that not personality shift, but like perspective shift. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Because our biggest blessings can really hide, and they lie in those smaller ones. Because those smaller ones teach us patience, they teach us trust, they teach us to have faith and to be persistent, and they allow us greater appreciation for those bigger changes to occur and to happen around us. Because sometimes I feel like when we're not really grateful for like the smaller things, or for like little things happening for us, that I feel like sometimes when like that greater thing happens, and I'm like, oh, like why? I kind of feel bad for not being grateful for those smaller things, if that makes any sense. So I feel like when we are grateful for the tinier moments. And even if that is like a time during your day, like if you're a parent, if that's a time during your day just to have time to yourself, like even if you're just taking a shower and it's just quiet, those 20 minutes can be something that you're very, very grateful for. And yeah, it teaches you patience, like I said, persistence, faith, to have faith that greater things are happening, and that, you know, things aren't all bad. Things aren't all bad all the time. And yeah, I did right here on my last note, sort of like, if you are watching this, like whatever day you're watching this, try to find, let me see what I wrote, something that may have tested your patience in the past, and then try to flip that perspective. So like in my example at the beginning of the video, I was driving around looking for parking. It was so busy. There were people, you know, I was not impatient, but like it was just a lot going on with like people going past the sidewalks, and like if people are walking past the sidewalk this way and I need to get to this street, obviously they have the right of way, so I'm waiting for everybody to cross the street so I can take that turn. And it was just a lot. So I felt like that was something that really tested my patience the other day on Saturday. But I kept my cool. I let, you know, I knew they had the right of way, obviously. You know, everybody's out doing their thing. I wasn't really like impatient. I wasn't freaking out at all. And then I was blessed with that first parking spot because you know, cooler heads prevail, I think they say. So, you know, try to, like I said, figure out something that maybe you were impatient about, something that really tested you, and try to look at that from a different perspective. Because I think it might teach you something maybe about yourself, or even like if you're going through a growth journey, which is something that I talked about 2 videos ago. Something that you have noticed that you don't react to the same way anymore. And again, this could be something where you're in traffic and you might in your past self would have been, I cannot talk right now. Let me take a second. So if this is something where maybe in the past you were super impatient while you were driving, just in this traffic example, and now you recognize that you're not as impatient. You are just letting things happen. You know we're all going to get there. That is maybe something that you can reflect on and be like, you know what? Yeah, like that is sort of a place where I've shifted my perspective. I have seen this in a different way. Like traffic happens. We all experience traffic, but it is something that is teaching you to have more patience, to be a little bit more understanding. And I think it's going to also allow like greater things to come into your life, because, you know, I think traffic can sometimes be a blessing. It can keep us maybe from something else that might hurt us if there wasn't traffic or whatever. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like as long as you are patient and, you know, you're keeping your head on, I think traffic is just like, it's whatever. It's just kind of neutral to me. Honestly, I don't really get super bothered by it. And I think we're all going to get there at a certain point, whether we're late, whether we're super late, we're all going to get there. We're all going to get to our place. And yeah, so I definitely challenge you to think about something in the past that has really challenged you. So let me know in the comments if you feel called to. But yeah, that was my little message for today. Be grateful for those smaller times, because they really allow you to see gratitude in the bigger moments. And yeah, again, that was it for today. If you feel called, definitely comment again, like I said, something that challenged you to see things in a different perspective, and subscribe if you like what I got going on. But again, I'm Julia, and that was it for this week. That was my 3rd video of this week. I've been in the same outfit because I'm technically on vacation. I think when this video posts, that I'm going to be hopefully flying back, as long as the flight there is safe. I really, really hope so. But yeah, this is Friday. I hope whenever you are seeing this, you are having an amazing day, and I will see you hopefully again in my next video. If this was the only video you watched, thank you so much for being here, but I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.